nothing to do, nowhere to go. देखो सुनो मत बोलो. Wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक. किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो. ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना. Who asked you live at zero complaint level? मौज में रहो, be happy.
Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. There is one book attributed to Bhagwan Shankaracharya. Am I audible to all? If not, who cares? यहाँ से करो. अब ठीक है. And the name of that book is Prashnottara Varnamala. There are 99 questions asked and answered. And most of the questions are pertaining to day-to-day life, how we should live. Like we have got in all gadgets, when you go for any problem, FAQ, frequently asked questions. On the spiritual path also, there are many FAQs. See? And in that, question is asked and answer is given. See? Dwaram narakasya kim. What is the gateway to the hell? Answer is given. In this manner, that is for all of us to lead life. That is why yesterday evening class, that was the main approach. In a heterogeneous crowd, where people have come basically for the dinner, to talk about Brahman is no good. See? Now if you want to know Brahman, now come here. All the Brahma will disappear. So here we have seen how the whole story is developed. Knowledge is never created, nor knowledge is a creator. Jnanam jnapakam matra. Knowledge only reveals. Knowledge cannot be created, nor knowledge can be destroyed. Nor knowledge can be absent. Three things. Because Sat, Chit and Ananda. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyomanna Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. So, Satyam Jnanam. So, we, if not properly exposed to the scriptures, we imagine something like black, big mouse. So, mouse has become an object Black is an adjective. See? And big is an adjective. So in this statement, big black mouse, relationship is between the object and the attribute of the object. Black could be anything. Hair could be black if they are there. Condition. See? And big could be anything. Nose, big nose. See? But when we talk about Sat, Chit and Ananda, is this the relationship like this? Ananda is an object. Sat and Chit, these are the adjectives? No. How important, subtle it is. Now if I talk this topic in yesterday's crowd, see, in Mumbai, I am regularly giving talks in Prempuri Ashram. So there was some general other function. Now they are listening me from since 90. So more than 30, 35 years. They know me very well. And they come regularly. And they have concluded, Swamiji doesn't know anything. You give him any topic, he comes back to be happy. So there was one function. And in that function, I was supposed to talk. I was introduced. About Swamiji, we know everything. But today we request him, talk something different than be happy. Then I started. After 15 minutes, Swamiji revert back. I have made them so miserable. See, friends. Therefore, Brahman, Ananda, Ananta, infinite, is not an object, and Sat and Chit, these are not the adjectives. That which is Sat, existence, itself is knowledge. And that which is knowledge is itself existence. If it is not so, what will happen? Sat will become inert, if it is not jnanam, and Chit will become asat, non-existent. Can there be any possibility where existence and knowledge can be established as non-existent? It cannot be. See, and therefore, when we come to this experience where Sat and Chit, they merge in the homogeneity, that experience is called as Ananda, and it is not a process of creation, but it is a process of recognition. See. Now if you see in our day-to-day life, our experiences are in sequence. If you want to come ahead, you can come. You are okay? Achha, you are counting how many people are there? Achha. So, this is a phone. Existence is. I know this is a phone. So, the knowledge about the worldly things happens in a sequence. First, it is recognized as is, and then it is known as a phone. Now, is this our knowledge, our experience? Do we have this kind of experience? And I am. Do you know? No, let me wait. I am. I am, yes, I am. Do you know? I don't know. No. Knowing and being is simultaneous. Because Sat and Chit are not two. Now when they are separated, the experience of Ananda doesn't come. Common example, jalebi in the plate. and the tasting organ in the mouth, rasana. So till Urdhamuramad Shakam Ashwatam Pravaram Chandavasya Pranam Yasam, till the 15th chapter is over, these two things don't meet together. And therefore there is a great misery. And the moment it happens, immediately Sat, Jalebi, Chit, Rasana, they come together, Ananda. So, Sat cannot be inert and Chit cannot be non-existent. And therefore, this experience does not call for sequence. All our experiences of our life are sequential. See, that is why in this mantra which I told from Taittiriya Upanishad, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyomanna Parama Vyomani Chidakash Parame Vyomanna So Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. Saha means simultaneously. He attains all the desires of his life simultaneously. Our desires are fulfilled in a sequence. Lokeshana, I want to go to heaven. But unless your son will do your Shraddha when you are alive, you cannot go to heaven. So, Putreshana. Putreshana, then you require money to maintain. So, Vitteshana. One after another desires come. But when all desires stand fulfilled simultaneously, you have attained fulfillment in life. Now, fulfillment of all desires means you entertain zero desires. When we have eaten up to nose, Swamiji, khana kha liya? Yes. How about? Really? Now, why this Swami is not talking? But what did you like in the food? Now we have to talk. Take out the jalebi. So when we are full, we cannot have the desires. The desire fulfillment does not mean fulfilling the desires. Desire fulfillment means we rise above the desires. Rising above the desires means na kuch pana, na kuch khona. See, friends. Therefore, this was the main topic in this chapter. What is knowledge? What is the Uttam Adhikari, Manda Adhikari, and the average like us. After this was given technically, then to make us understand clearly, easily, one Akhyayika was told. Akhyayika means a Kimvadanti, a popular story through which the message is passed on. See, the truth is not this or that. And in this story, we have come across that all the questions this Brahma Rakshas has asked, they were pertaining only to the correct understanding of the truth. If the understanding is not correct, if understanding is there, if I do this thing, then Bhagavan will come. Then whole life, आए पता नहीं बस चुप क्या होगा. No. भय प्रकट कृपाला दीन दयाला. Paramatma doesn't come, doesn't go. He manifests. Where he is not. See? These are very simple things to reflect upon. We can ask a question. Where is earth? Give reference to sun or moon. Where is water? Question is possible. Where is fire? Question is possible. Where is air? Is the right question. Where is the space? Invalid question. Where space is not. And therefore, everything exists in the space. In the same manner, where Paramatma is not, he doesn't have to come. He has to manifest. And for the manifestation of anything, you require an instrument. See? Electricity is there in the wire. But there is no light, yaar. What to do? Put your fingers. You will get enlightened. We require an instrument. Then only the manifestation can happen. It is not creation, it is manifestation. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyakta nidananyeva tatra ka paridevana. Everything is, nothing is created. Therefore, all our spiritual practice is only this much, that let us be an instrument, such a fit instrument through which Paramatma can express. Maya Prakata Kripala. So don't seek God. Allow Him to express through us. And He can express through us only when this I.com disappears. See? Now what is the difference between expression of Paramatma and expression of Jivatma? This was the question. Expression of Jivatma is desire-riddled existence. I want this, I want that. There is no end to that I and want. See? On the contrary, I would say, the want or the desire itself is the jiva. See? Therefore, if Paramatma will never come to us, nor we can go to Paramatma, then only one option is left. That let that Paramatma manifest through us. That is the only spiritual practice. Let Him express through us. An expression of Paramatma is Anandadheva kalpimani bhutani jayante anandena jatani jivanti. See? Expression of Paramatma is only be happy. घुमा फिरा के वही आ गए. You make us miserable by being happy. Most important thing is, I am not telling you become happy. What we are doing, we are trying to become happy. So the wife tries to make the husband happy. The husband tries to please the wife. Where Bhagwan Ram failed, will the Jagjivan Ram succeed? See, friends. Therefore, real spiritual practice is only this much, that let us allow Him to express through us. And therefore, the second topic is, where are we lost? Either we are lost in Karma Kanda, or we are lost in Upasana, or we are lost in Yoga. And all these three areas are only for fulfilling our desires. I do the karma so that I can go to heaven. See? And after going to heaven, heaven may be beautiful, but you are the same. What matters is how you are, than where you are. See, we have a very good friend in Newcastle. Now his son is a doctor now. When he was small, I asked him this thing. I said, hey, tell something. You go to India? Yes. Tell something about India here. Oh, it's very simple. When we go to India, we talk about Australia. And when we are in Australia, we talk about India. Then what will you talk? You will talk in India how Australia is good, India is bad. And when you are in Australia, you will talk about how Australia is bad, India is very good, you know. So what are we doing? We are going away from ourselves. See. And therefore, we have to very distinctly and clearly understand karma is okay up to a particular limit. Don't go beyond that. Because there we want something. Na kuch pana, na kuch khona, you'll be relaxed. Otherwise, carry tremendous tension on the head. Now, the second part is the yoga. Yoga as it is practiced in the world. See? What for they practice yoga? For health and longevity. Both are the curses. Health is not a blessing, it is a curse. How come? Tell me, have you come across any picture, any report where a terrorist went with a gun and told, hey, ya pakad jara kamar mein dard ho raha. They are healthy. Only health cannot be the goal of life. Similarly, longevity. What will you do by remaining old? 30 years, 100 years, 200 years, so what? See? One person, victim of Ramdev Baba, did lot of yoga. And thereafter, he died at the age of 125. And after that, he has to go to Swarga because he was a yogi. And when he went to Swarga, there he saw beautiful apsaras. You know, in Hindi, government officers are called as apsar. See? So he saw a lot of apsaras. And then he was regretting, why did I delay coming over here? Friends, health and long life cannot be the goal of life. See? लंबा हुआ तो क्या हुआ जैसा पेड़ खजूरा छाया नहीं पथिक को फल लागे अति दूरा. What will you do with long life? Then upasana, constantly crying. See, Banwari Lal, aa jao. I always feel, what kind of these bhajans? Devotion should not make us a weakling. See, a devotee is never showing a kind of deenata and heenata. See? जो थारी रहा है सो मारी रहा है, मस्त है. Otherwise we get lost. Never sing those kinds of bhajan wherein we have a lot of pain and frustration. See? No. So these three paths, three. Now fourth path is the path of knowledge. When we get lost in study of scriptures, many of us get entangled in erudition and scholarship. What they call the Shastrartha. See? I think I told one old lady, Sadhvi, Jain Sadhvi. I heard about her. So we went to do namaskar and take blessings. So I went there and I sat on the floor and did namaskar. No, 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 you come and sit here. So I sat there. She terminated her satsanga. She said, now our satsang is over. Okay, now I will have this Shastrartha with Maharajji. Then I told audience, I said, look here, Amma is knowing everything. I am Ajnana Shiromani. I know nothing. Only for Papi Pet I have changed my clothes. Therefore, I am not qualified and capable of doing any Shastrartha. I know nothing. Studies many a times leads us to only academics. This is what has happened to these Brahma Rakshas. One more example. It happened in USA, New Jersey. Somebody's house I went for lunch and there was a group, maybe about 30, 25 people. Wherever there is food, there people come. So, Swamiji, we'll have satsang on Gita. I said, come on here, I have come for food, no satsang is enough. Then there was an old man. Namaste, namaste. Then he was introduced. Swamiji, he is so and so. He came from India. For last 6 months he is here and he has been teaching us Bhagavad Gita. I said, okay, then let him talk. I will also listen. He said, please talk on second chapter of Gita. Gambhiranand, elderly person. So I said, okay. So, 1 hour, second chapter, Kallas. Then question answer. I said, look here, I know nothing. What question is it? No, at least answer one question. See, out of 100 questions, you may answer any one question. Like, in the schools they have. And his question was, how many verses are attributed to Dhritarashtra, Sanjay, Arjun and Bhagwan Sri Krishna? So I invoke my Guru. I don't know. No, you must know. I said, all right, now listen. I said, only one verse to Dhritarashtra and 0 verses to Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Bhagwan Sri Krishna did not talk one single verse in Bhagavad Gita. When I said like this, he nearly jumped out of his skin. What? I said, yes. How come? I said, show me Bhagavad Gita which you read. Gita Press. I said, I am not seeing anywhere. Bhagwan Sri Krishna Uvacha. Bhagwan Uvacha. Bhagwan could be Shiva, Rama. And there was one actor in Hindi cinema, Bhagwan. Bhagwan Uvacha. Bhagwan could be anybody. This kind of study is erudition scholarship to defeat somebody. Shastrartha is meant for proving the other person lower than you. That is not spiritual life. This is exactly, now we come to the story. So, in 108th verse, Shrutva etad atha santushtaha umumocha brahma rakshasaha rukmangadam tadapasyad abhavad brahmano hi saha. So when this Hemangada has given all the answers to the satisfaction of that Brahma Rakshas, thereafter Shrutva etad santushtaha. He was pleased and mumocha. He released his brother and Rukmangada, and thereafter Paschad, after he released the captive food of his, then Paschad abhavat brahmano hi saha. And out of that Brahma Rakshasa, a nice Brahmana appeared. See? So, he was basically a Brahman, very erudite scholar, but then he became Brahma Rakshas. Now, when he thus became a Brahmana, so तेजस्विनं तपोमूर्तिं दृष्ट्वा ब्राह्मणरूपिणं पप्रच्छद राजसुतौ को भवान् इति शंकितौ. So out of that Brahma Rakshas, a great Brahmana appeared in a proper way, and Tejasvinam Tapomurtim. He was full of brightness and the austerities. Paprachad Radhisutau. Then both the brothers, they asked him, come on, you were a Brahma Rakshas and suddenly you have become a great Brahmana. So Bhavan Koniti, who are you? Please tell. Then Atha Praha Brahmanagraha Svavrittam Vai Yatha Tatham Aham Pura Brahmanastu Magadeshu Abhivishrutaha. Now this Brahma Rakshas, who has now turned into a Brahmana, now he starts telling his story. He says, Atha thereafter Praha, he said, Brahmanagraha, the best among the Brahmanas, Svavrutam Vai Yatha Yatham. He told his whole story as it happened. Then, Aham Pura Brahmanaha tu. Earlier I was a very nice erudite Brahmana. Magadeshu Abhivishruta. In the kingdom of Magadha, I was very much popular and known among the erudite, wise Brahmanas. My name was Vasumaniti Vikhyataha Sarva Shastra Visharadaha Sabhasu Nirjita Bhuyo Maya Vidya Abhimanina. Maya Vidya Abhimanina Sabhasu Nirjita. I was so arrogant and egoist about my knowledge of the scriptures because I was Shastra, Sarva Shastra Visharada. See? And I was known by the name Vasuman, Vikhyataha. I was very much known. And I was Vidya Abhimani. So like Karma, Kartrutva Abhiman. Social work, Abhiman. Yoga, normal people are sitting, yogi will sit with the Padmasana on the chair. Right? Normal beto, yogi. Remember one important thing. Spiritual life is not becoming someone extraordinary. We have to remain ordinary as we are. We don't have to prove anything to anybody in this world. Whenever we are struggling to prove something to somebody, this hood of ego comes up. See? And this is what we unknowingly do it. Like, they will be having a multi-storied huge house. And they will give name, Parnakuti. We are simple people. We don't eat very fancy food. We take only boiled vegetables, boiled sprouts, and that's all. We are very simple people. Where do you sit? We sit on the golden dining table and with the golden plates. Very simple people. What we want to prove? This point is so essential for every one of us to know. We don't have to prove anything to anybody in this world. Be as you are. Life becomes stress-free. Therefore, Atha Praha Brahmana Graha Vasumaniti Vikhyataha and Sabhasu Nirjita Bhoyo. And I have won over many Pandit, many wise people because of the arguments. विद्वांसः शतशः विप्रः ततो अत्यंत सुगर्वितः कदाचित् मगधदेशस्य सभायाम् अष्टकं मुनिम्. Now in that the kingdom of Magadha, Vidvamsa Shatashaha Vipraha, there were hundreds and hundreds of wise people, Brahmana. See? Janmana Jayate Shudraha, Samskarat Dvija Uchyate, Vedabhyasi Bhavet Vipraha, Brahma Janati Brahmana. In Manusmriti this shloka comes. Janmana Jayate Shudraha. By birth we are all scheduled caste. Janmana Jayate Shudra. Samskara Dvija Uchyate. Samskar, how to sit, how to talk, how to do namaskar, how to talk to the elders, Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara. This is our second birth. Dvija, born twice. Samskara Dvija Uchyate. Then Vedabhyasi Bhaved Vipraha. Then those who spend their time in studying the scriptures, they are called a Vipra. And Brahma Janati Brahmana. And those who know the truth, they are called Brahmana. He was telling, Vidvamsaha Shatashaha Vipraha. Therefore, all of them, hundreds of them, they were extremely well read in the scriptures. Okay. Vipraha tato atyanta sugarvita. And because I have won over hundreds of them, sugarvita, I became very arrogant. Sugarvita. And kadachit adhescha kadachit magadhescha. Then that Magad kingdom, there was some great Mahatma. Savayam Ashtakam Munim. There was a great Rishi, Muni, his name was Ashtaka. Maybe he was the Ashtavakra, Ashtaka Muni. Then what happened? Paravaradnyam samshantam vadarthi sangata abhavat. Then I had the Shastrartha discussion on the scriptures with these wise Mahatma. And what he was, very important quality that told. Paravaradnyam. See? Vidyate hrudaya granthi chidyante sarva samshayaha क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावरे. That is the word. Para means transcendental. Avara means manifest. The one who knows both the manifest as well as the transcendental, he alone has attained fulfillment in life. See? So if I have realized the truth, then what will be my experience? First experience will be, this world which appears is an illusion. And the second experience will be, this world is nothing but my own expansion. Both of them will ultimately lead to only one thing: freedom from desires. When we look at the world as an illusion, we do not desire any illusory thing, like the mirage waters. We don't desire. Let me have a glass of mirage water. Let me taste. No. We see the rainbow. When we see that, we don't cut it. Let's take a piece for the wife and make ornament out of her. No. Because it appears, doesn't exist. Illusion. Second thing, when we come to know the whole world is nothing but my own expanse. See? Like I got this tablet. I cannot have the desire for my tablet. I already have it. See? So, when one comes to discover the whole world, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, and that Brahmasmi Am. When this happens, in this condition also, there cannot be desires. See, friends, therefore, whichever way you take this world, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, or take this Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, everything is Paramatma, the net result of this experience will be freedom from desires. What is the freedom from desires? Jehi bidhi rakhe ram, tehi bidhi rahiye. Jo thari rahe, so mari rahe. How important it is. So, Paravaradnyam, this Ashtaka Muni, he was well established in both the manifest and the unmanifest reality. Paravaradnyam. And Samshantam, Samyak Shantam. Samyak Shantam is what? Bhagavad Gita. Jitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitaha shitoshna sukha dukkheshu tatha manapamanayoho. The world comes to us in the form of joy, sorrows, etc. Jitatmanaha, the dvandvas, the complementary opposites, do not disturb our peace of mind. We are 50% realized. And remaining 50%, the world comes to us in the form of honor or dishonor. Somebody will honor us, somebody dishonor us. Mana apamanayoho prashantasya. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? और महामंत्र. Those who demand respect, they don't deserve respect. Those who command respect, they never demand. You see, many elderly people, they have got this complaint against the children. These days, the youngsters don't respect the elders. What is there to respect in you? See? Now, we are very proud of our age. Now tell me sincerely, what is our contribution that our age is growing? Our contribution is our belly is growing. Our age is growing. What is the contribution? It is the poor earth running around the sun, and our age is growing. Bade ho gaye. See, friends. Therefore, sam shantam, prashant. कोई निंदो कोई वंदो कोई कैसे कहो रे राम सांगे प्रीत बांधी होत जैसे होत रे. That is the meaning. Vidvamsaha, then samshantam, vadarthi sangataha abhavat. Then I happened to come in contact with this Ashtaka Muni, and there I started arguing through logic. So, vadarthi sangataha bhavat. Then, shushka tarkaihi, shushka tarkaika nipunaha. Then who was I? The Brahma Rakshas. Now Vasuman Brahman is telling. I was expert in shushka tarka, false logic, kutarka. Remember this thing? never get involved anywhere where logic, reason is too much. This is what I follow sincerely. If somebody asks a question, invoke your guru. You know who are my gurus? The NRI children from USA. They are my guru. Any child you ask him, hey, what's your program today? E. Like Om Bhur Bhur Swaha. Tassavidurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimaya Dhiyo. Vyahruti. So, what do you want? What is the program today? I don't know. This I don't know is such a powerful mantra. All subsequent questions disappear. So I use that. I don't know. See? Vado na avalambyaha. Narada Bhakti Sutra distinctly tells, never get lost in any argument in life. No argument is conclusive. Therefore, Shushka Tarkaika Nipunaha. I was very extremely expert in logic. I was in Varanasi and go to one ashram. And there this Tarka Shastra class was over. So when I reached Namaskar Chamatkar, and I was introduced to an elderly person with dhoti and all that, and then Tripunda and everything. Swamiji, he is our Tarka Shastri. I said, Namaskar Maharaj. You have got any doubt? I can sort it out. I said, that is my problem, I have no doubt. See? You can have doubt only about others. You cannot have doubt about your being. That's all. What more you want to know? But what happens? Logic not falling in line with the scriptural authority is kutarka, is a destructive logic. One should not take refuge in that. Therefore, he was that type. Shushka tarkai ka nipunaha. The Musulman was expert in giving this kind of logic. In one house, I went somewhere, and then the mother told, Swamiji, my son has got a question. I said, is he dumb? He can talk? Let him ask the question. You don't become an advocate for him. Then he asked, Swamiji, egg is first or the bird is first? Then he looked at his mother. You told Swamiji knows everything? I said, Yaar, you are so intelligent, very difficult question. Yes, you tell. Egg first or the bird first? I said, where is the egg or the bird? Where is it? No, I am asking you. I said, imagine. Suppose this is the egg. Yes. Clear? Suppose this is the egg. Then, if this is the egg, then the bird is the first. And suppose this is the bird, then egg is the first. He got confused. Mummy. हमारी बिल्ली हमसे म्याऊं. Dustarka Tejjatam. Should not get lost in the logic. Therefore, he was Shushka Tarkaika Nipunaha Atma Avidya Vicharane. And he was expert in the wrong side of the spiritual path. Atma Avidya Vicharane. See. Then what happened? Tato Mayasa Akshiptaha केवलम तर्कयुक्तिभिः समाधान वचस्तस्य बहुभागम सुब्रह्मितम ततो मया स अक्षिप्तः. And I nearly defeated him. Kevalam tarkayuktivihi, only by the wrong logic. And samadhana vachastasya, and he became absolutely quiet. He did not talk anything. Although there were many people there, he was calm and quiet. Dushayitva tarkajalaihi अधिक्षेप परो अभवम अधिक्षिप्त्योपि बहुधा मया रारस भागता. And then by this shushka tarka, the dry logic, I was always defeating him and finding its faults. And in this manner, whatever he was telling, which was according to the scriptural authority, I was denying the authority of the scriptures. Now here we all have to understand. By Shastra or the scriptures, we mean Veda, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Be very clear about it. Don't become secular. See, friends. Many of us get lost in that. So, when it is said by the Upanishad, what is said? That Prajnanam Brahma, Tattvamasi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. This is the ultimate statement. No way to deny it. See, when this doesn't happen, we get lost in false logic. I'll tell you false logic what happened. This particularly happens in Bengal. Bengalis are very fighting type of people because they have got intelligence which is not under their control. They are very intelligent people and therefore most destructive. There was one girl, I was having my talks in somewhere in north part of Bengal, Siliguri. I used to call it Silikudi. So in the Siliguri we used to have talk. One day one girl came and after the talk is over, she said, Swamiji, I am so and so. I am doing PhD on Bhagavad Gita. Very good, congratulations. I have discovered there are many interpolations in Bhagavad Gita. Interpolation means somebody has added verses from outside. Original Bhagavad Gita is not 700 verses. It is only some 190 verses. Some people have just added. I have found it out. Because they are all contradictions, they have no meaning. I said, I agree with you. Are you talking about the 9th chapter? Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadam vyaktamurtina masthani sarvabhutani na chaham teshvavastitaha na cha masthani bhutani pashyame yogameshwaram bhuta brunna cha bhutastaha mamatma bhuta bhavana. Swami, you also know? Yes. Don't you agree? This is the statement of contradictions. Maya avyakta murtina, I the formless, permeate and support all the forms. Therefore they are in me, but I am not in them. They are in me, but I am not in them. Contradiction. It cannot be. It's wrong. See? And to be very frank, neither they are in me nor I am in them. Although I am supporting all of them. One after another contradictions. He said, this cannot be Bhagavad Gita. I have proved it logically. See? So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya has to come and take Diksha from her. See, friends. Tarka, logic should never be entertained if it is contrary to the scriptural authority. See? And even our day-to-day life, never get lost in logic. Why? Because the sky is too high. That's it. No logic. So, I have thus repeated many of them, and I became very arrogant. And this Ashtaka Muni, to him also, by the power of this dry logic, I was rejecting his statement, and he used to quote only the scriptural authority to make his point. But I was going beyond the scriptural authority, and by wrong logic I used to defeat him. Shanta tushni babhuvat shishyastasya mahatmanah kasyapo mahakrodham krodavashad shashapa nrupasamsadi. And although I was arguing with him, and yet that great Mahatma was Shanta Tushtim Babhuvatha. When he found that I was going only logic, without any respect for the authority of the scriptures, then he became quiet. He has nothing to say. And that great Mahatma, he had a disciple. And disciple's name was Kashyapa. Kashyapo mam krodavashad shashapa nrupasamsadi. And the disciple became so angry that among the wise people in that gathering, he cursed me in front of everybody. See? In front of all the people there. Acharyam me adikshipati tvamasthane dvijadhama yata tasma chiram kalam brahma raksho bhavishyasi. You have been purposefully insulting the wise man only on the basis of your dry logic, which has no support of the authority of the scriptures, and therefore I curse you. And Tvam asthane dvijadhama, worst among the Brahmanas, yataha tasmat, therefore from here onwards you will be chiram kalam, all the time or a long time you will be brahma raksho bhavishyasi, you will become brahma rakshas. This is how the brahma rakshas were formed. So anywhere you see logic going on, remember this story. Brahma Rakshas aa gaya. See, Bhagwan ke, the devotees of the God are those who have nothing to prove to anything, anybody, nothing to prove. We don't have anything to ask even from Bhagwan. Arto jidnyasu artharti jnani cha bharatarshava tesham jnani nitya yukta. See, the real culmination of devotion is we discover His presence in our heart. See, like, just imagine, like a husband discovers the presence of the man in his heart. Means what? Although he is standing in front of the wife, he will never forget his first man, then husband. This is realization. So, Shaptam evamaham tena bhitotyantam tadamunim vipamanaha pranamyashu chashtakam sharanam gataha. When I was thus cursed by his disciple Kashyapa, tena bhitaha atyantam, I was extremely frightened. And then ashtakam sharanam gataha, and then I surrendered at the feet of the great Muni, Ashtaka. I was shivering, I was frustrated. What did I do and what curse I got? And therefore I touched the feet of the great Mahatma. मयि सहा अथ दयांचक्रे विरोधिन्यपि शांतधीः. See, although I was his opponent, yet he was so calm and quiet. He still had compassion and love for me. This is the meaning of God realization. Like space supports everything, rejects nothing, doesn't get influenced by anything, in the same manner our vision supports all the colors and forms, rejects nothing, doesn't get influenced. All the sense objects cannot touch the sense organs. All the sense organs, organs of action, cannot influence the mind. In short, not getting influenced by anything is our essential nature. That is the reason why satsang doesn't influence us. Essential nature. Asangoham, asangoham. Brahma Jnana Valli. They ask this, Swamiji, please talk on that. Brahma Jnana. Asangoham, asangoham, asangoham punah punah. Satchidananda Rupoham. Only words, words, words. Therefore, so Saha Atha Dayan Chakre, he had compassion for me. Virodhini api, although I was against him, but Shantadihi, he was at peace. Therefore, friends, never justify becoming angry, frustrated. That is the real spiritual practice. And for this one technique I told you. Every event of our life is our spiritual examination. Every event. Relation between husband and wife is a spiritual examination. Doctorate. Relation between the children and the parents, spiritual examination. And once you take this examination, then you are ready to face it properly. You have to be successful, not a failure. So, virodhini api shantadihi shapasyantam dadu mayam tanme nigadata shruno. And therefore, he told me, okay, you will not remain Brahma Rakshas for all the time, but I'll tell you how this curse will no more bother you. Now, listen. Prashnansvam yapi hi krudan pratyustascha maya hitan sthapitam kevalai tarkaihi yadaika prativakshati. Now, you have been constantly putting the logic, and whatever I told, you have denied them. See? So whatever questions you ask, I have given you proper answer, but only on the strength of the logic, wrong logic, you have tried to prove I am wrong. Now the same questions, when you ask somebody, and if all the answers are given to the satisfaction of every question, if this thing happens in your life, then this curse of being a Brahma Rakshas will be over. See? Then he says, Kadachis kaschintid vidvan sada shapar vimuktam bhavishyasi tat shapadastate mukti stirat adya Nrupanandana. So, hey Nrupanandana, hey Rajaputra, today I am liberated from that curse, because I have asked you those questions which require the support of the scriptural authority and not only the logical pursuit. And you have replied all of them. Tvattam manne mahatmanam jnata jneyam Nurushuttamam iti uktastera viprenam vismito brun atmajaha. Na tvatva manne mahatmanam. Now the Brahma Rakshas who has become Vasuman, he says, now I know you are a great master, you know the truth, Jnata Jneyam. And therefore, Viprena Vispitaha Abhut. So when this was said by the Vipra, by the Brahmana, the Rajputras, they become very surprised and pranamya vasumantam tam sahitu bhratru sainikaihi etatte sarvamakhyatam yad prishtam bhargavat tvaya. In this manner, pranamya vasumantam tam. So, both of them did namaskar to Vasumanta Brahmana, and along with all the soldiers and everything, they went back to their own kingdom. Thus, hey, Parshuramji, whatever you ask, I have told you first as a principle and then through this story. So conclusion is, never get lost in logic, argument with anybody in life. The day you drop this logic argument, there will be peace at home. What are the reasons that there is constant fighting at home? Tu tu mai, tu tu. There was one girl, she wrote me one letter. Swamiji, after listening to you, I got inspiration to write a poetry. So I am sending you a poem. She wrote in Hindi. शादी के पहले मैं ही मैं. शादी के बाद कुछ दिन के लिए तू ही तू. फिर कुछ दिन बीत गए, फिर तू मैं, तू मैं. फिर और कुछ दिन बन गए, उसके बाद मैं तू मैं तू. And then she said, I am a Gujarati. In Gujarati, मैं means हूँ. So since then our house is हूँ तू. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. With this we have completed the 21st chapter. Now the last chapter is remaining. God willing, leave it to Him.